Marvin Vettori took Israel Adesanya to a split decision. Are his abilities being slept on against Cezar Ferreira?
Um, Maybe, but I mean that was an older version of Adesanya, and I know that,
Exactly.
and that sounds ridiculous because that was only like a year ago. But Adesanya has improved leaps and bounds in that year, and he's done a whole lot in that year. So I don't think the fact that you lost to Israel Adesanya, but you didn't die in there, uh, gives you any sort of street cred in this fight. So yeah, man, Cesar Ferreira, of course, is going to prepare for this guy appropriately and treat him as such. But the fact that he survived Israel Adesanya, an older version of Israel Adesanya, a version of Israel Adesanya that wasn't quite as polished, and especially if I'm remembering this correctly, he had a lot of success against Adesanya in the clinches, against the fence, and that's an area where you're not gonna have as much success against Adesanya anymore. He can get credit for being a guy who forced Adesanya to step his game up. Give him that, but no, I'm not buying that, man. That doesn't earn you any extra points, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and when you look at a lot of great fighters' resume, you always see those one kind of fights where it was just a weird matchup. They had a weird night, or they couldn't get a read quite on the person. Maybe they couldn't get a finish, and it just happened to play out weird. And that's nothing to take away from Martin Vettori. He's a very good, up and coming fighter, talented. But him taking Israel Adesanya to a split decision doesn't make me he's on the level and he's a future contender and he's very good. And just fights somehow go like that. I mean, Anderson Silva, I think, went to a decision against Damian Maia, and it wasn't because he was taken down a lot and it was a lot of grappling. It was just a weird fight, and no one's looking at Damian Maia. Man, that guy was a full, a decision with Anderson Silva. Man, he's a striking genius if he can hang with him that long. No, nobody's looking at it like that. And likewise, when who was it? Patrick Cote went a long time with Anderson Silva. I think it went to decision. Some fights play out weird, and the superstars can't always put on a show like they expect to.
Yeah, not everything's going to be a highlight reel.
Exactly.
So when it isn't a highlight reel, that doesn't necessarily mean that the guy who didn't get murked in there is the next coming of the Messiah. It's just he just had some success that he would not be able to replicate if you were to redo that fight.
Now,